All right, everybody, welcome back. I know it's been a while, and judging by the lack of emails and whatnot, you haven't missed us too much, but we're still here. Welcome you all to 2018. Happy New Year's, guys.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Same to you guys.
I was going to say, wow, I thought I was going to have to wake them up here. They were just with me. But hopefully everybody had a nice holiday. I know Carrie and I did. Hopefully you guys did too.
I certainly did.
We did.
But
it's enjoyable.
It's been a while. There's been a lot going on. I don't know how much we're going to touch on here, how much we can remember. We've all kind of went our separate ways here the last couple weeks.
We actually thought ourselves out for this one because it's been so cold.
Oh, cold isn't even the word. I no longer wonder what it's like in Green Bay.
So cold that you don't want to go out and do anything, and that's why we haven't been together.
That's right. We're still doing nothing, but it's just been in our own homes this time. But I guess one of the big things, I know we were talking about it before the last podcast, but Star Wars has landed. Episode 8 has just shattered all kinds of records, and Jason and Kevin, you guys are our big-time movie guys, so Star Wars Episode 8, go.
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it as well. I have not got to see it the second time yet. I usually appreciate these types of movies more upon second viewing than the first because there's just so much to take in,
right,
with the story and all the twists and everything. So
especially with a longer movie.
Yeah, it's like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, a longer movie like that. And I've always said, like you said, you can't appreciate a movie until you've seen it twice. But I enjoyed it. It had a lot of new stuff we got to see and some nice nods to the older Star Wars stuff. So,
like Luke says in the trailer, this is not going to go the way you think it is.
And it doesn't.
And it certainly does not.
No, it's the truer words never spoken.
But
definitely. In
a good way.
Yeah, I'm happy with it overall.
It kept me going, oh, wow, okay, that just happened. So then where is this going? What's happening next?
Exactly.
It's not like I saw, oh, well, obviously it's going this way. No, it definitely gives you some
there were some what the fuck moments for sure.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. But, at the end of it, I was like, all right, looking forward to Episode 9, looking forward to seeing where it goes from here.
So far, I know your biggest gripe, Jason, is that we didn't get a solo trailer.
Yeah, I was just about to say the same thing.
That's the only complaint I've heard from
I
Jason
was under
overall.
the impression that we were supposed to get the solo trailer at the end of the credits. We did not
I thought we were getting
get
it beforehand, so even going into the movie,
Either
I was
way,
kind of like,
I thought it was after post-credit.
It just would have made sense. I mean, what better tie-in to get you ready for your next film? Because when does that come out?
It comes out May 25th.
See, that's even more of a concern going into its release with all the issues they've had with production for Solo. Like, are they just nowhere near finished, but they're going to rush the fucking product out? Are we going to...
Ron Howard's behind this thing.
But he was brought in, halfway through. He wasn't there from the beginning.
I know, but at the same time, think about all the reshoots and everything we heard about Rogue One before that came out.
It's true. Rogue One, I love
I mean, that's an amazing film.
I enjoyed Rogue One.
That fucking end of Rogue One.
Right. I mean, so I still have high hopes. Han Solo is one of my favorite characters from the Star Wars universe. So.
I hear we might be getting your man in that movie as well as a little
Boba
cameo.
Fett,
yeah,
Boba Fett might be making an appearance. I'm excited about that. Yes,
the Fat Man. You can't go wrong with that.
You cannot go wrong with the Fat Man. So I'm extremely excited. So, yes. It'll be kind of weird, though, because then that means, a year from now, we're not going to have a Star Wars movie in
Christmas?
At Christmas.
I'm wondering what that's going to do with the, Disney's done so well with releasing the last 3 years, their Star Wars movies, their Lucasfilm movies, in the month of December. I always find it fun to go out during the holidays and watch a big blockbuster like that, and Star Wars the last 3 years has been...
Well, hopefully, with
bad.
Disney and their track record to own everything on the planet, hopefully, they'll treat us to something pretty good this year.
Well, fear not, because instead of going to see Star Wars, you can go see Aquaman.
That's very true.
Like you said, striking while the iron isn't hot with Justice League this year, Iron Man in December. There's a lot of good stuff coming out this year. We were talking about it earlier. I mean, just...
talking about Disney and buying up everything. With the whole Fox deal, they actually now own the rights to the first 2 Power Ranger movies as well.
Yeah, and we mentioned that. We were talking about that a while back. And I'm wondering...
I think they'll probably end up selling those rights back to Haim Saban.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Would make sense.
If this would have happened before the new movie,
Right.
there might have been a bigger shake. I was hoping to at least get a Blu-ray release of the original two, or some kind of anniversary.
Maybe Disney will do that and then sell the rights back.
Maybe.
I think they should impose Mickey and Minnie Mouse in the Star Wars and the Power Rangers movies myself. That would be hilarious.
The funny thing about Mickey Mouse.
I think it would be hilarious. Continue.
No comment.
Okay. Mickey Mouse is a pretty funny guy. He's proved himself worthy.
Or scary for some people.
I don't
Apparently
know.
we have stories for later. No, a lot of good stuff. I know there was some talk with the whole Disney takeover too. FX. They're kind of wondering what's going on with FX because they kind of have more of the racier shows that normally you wouldn't see coming out of Disney. So we're going to be interested to see.
But I think they're just going to rebrand it because Disney does like Daredevil and Punisher and Luke Cage on Netflix, and that's
True.
TVMA.
They were just.
So are they going to pull all those from Netflix since they're talking about doing their own streaming service?
think.
My understanding is like the stuff that's there now, like the Daredevil and everything, is going to stay there.
Okay. And then anything else new they want to do
on their own streaming service.
Gotcha.
They just announced. Speaking of FX and stuff, like they just announced Legion Season 2 is going to be dropping in April. That was a terrific show based on a Marvel comic, so that'll definitely be getting my viewership. And just like we were saying, just so many good movies and everything coming out this year. Huge for comic book movies. We have Black Panther. We have.
I'm really looking forward to that one. I loved him in Civil War.
Yeah, and then we're going to get to see him again in the Avengers, and it looks like a good part of that's going to be taking place in Wakanda. We get the new.
When does Avengers come out?
May 4th?
May?
So May's going to be a big month.
Yeah.
Oh, you figure we've got Deadpool 2 coming out this year?
I was going to say we get 3 X-Men movie universe movies with Deadpool, New Mutants.
It's going to be interesting to see what they do with the X-Men after these movies. Is it going to be like one of those things we're going to release these because they're already made, and then we're just going to reboot after, or?
I think it's going to depend on how they do. Like, I don't, unfortunately, New Mutants, as much as I'm looking forward to that, it's going to be kind of like their take on doing like an asylum horror film kind of thing.
Okay.
I don't see that doing like real good numbers.
Is that rated R?
I don't think it's received a rating yet.
Okay.
I think they're probably going to make it PG-13 just to get as many people into the theaters as possible. I know they were talking about doing that as a trilogy. I don't know if we're going to see more than one film. I'm sure Deadpool is going to do terrific numbers, though. So I think they're going to go ahead with doing, like, I know that's supposed to spin off into a Cable and X-Force movie, which I think as long as they get, people to come in and see it and they make the money, they're going to go forward with that. And then the other one we're getting is the X-Men Dark Phoenix movie, so...
That should be interesting.
That should be.
We've also got Ant-Man. Is that in June?
Yes, Ant-Man in June.
I was a big fan of the first one. I like that a lot more than I thought I would. I didn't know a lot about Ant-Man.
Yeah, and this one's called Ant-Man and the Wasp.
So this should be really good. I'm looking forward
Did
to
they
that as well.
Did they cancel the Gambit movie?
No, that's still moving forward into production at this point.
Still Channing Tatum.
Still Channing Tatum.
Okay. Not sure how I feel about that choice.
I've never seen Channing Tatum in anything, and I'm like, oh, wow, he gave a good performance in that. So it's just, I'm kind of up in the air.
I think somebody like Jensen Ackles would make a good Gambit, or even Jared Padalecki, honestly.
Right.
But I think I'm surprised I haven't seen them in any superhero movies yet.
See, I think it was Jensen Ackles did the voice of Jason Todd.
Yes,
Red Hood
he did.
In Under the Hood, and I would love to see him play a live version of Jason Todd in a DCU movie. That would be awesome. So,
But, so definitely a lot of good films coming out. I know Nathan's kind of chomping at the bit over there. We haven't really heard.
Yeah, I am still here, by the way.
He is still with us. Had a lot of playoff action this weekend. This is wild card weekend in the NFL. And Nathan, you want to?
Yes, this was wild card weekend in the NFL.
Wild to say the least.
Especially
some wild games today,
especially
for sure.
the first game that was on the Saturday between Kansas City and Tennessee.
This was a shocker. I didn't see this coming.
Marcus Mariota throwing a touchdown to himself was crazy enough, and then having Travis Kelce get hurt and the Titans get 19 straight points and win 22-21, in Kansas City. That was pretty amazing in itself.
Whoa. Sorry.
Yes, it was that amazing. I'll
We've
tell you
got,
that.
we've got hockey action going on in the background because somebody wouldn't turn the TV off to do this. So you can see how he feels about us, folks. But
Atlanta winning in Los Angeles, not a surprise for me.
I was really pulling for the Rams. I knew Atlanta would win, but I was kind of pulling for the Rams.
Well, it's one of those things where you get a team that hasn't had a lot of playoff experience, and you get them in their first playoff game, and this is kind of what happens.
That's why they don't pay me to think, though, folks. I'm not exactly the person to go to for.
Well, you're not really getting paid at all right now, are you?
No, not at all. That's more about just big things happening this year. But why don't you just stay out of it and not worry about me and focus on yourself there.
And then you had Jacksonville beat Buffalo 10-3.
Not a surprise.
Defensive battle. Kind of expected that to happen.
You know, the term defensive battle just strikes me as another way of saying what a fucking boring ass game that was.
I didn't expect Buffalo to get in. So I mean, it was kind of cool that they even made it that far. I mean, God forbid they would have made it in advance. They weren't going to beat the Patriots anyway. So
when a football game is that low scoring, I find it's so boring.
It's
but you can watch a hockey game that's 1-0. It can be like the most exciting game ever.
Or like a good pitcher's duel in baseball.
Right.
But and then another crazy one in New Orleans.
Yeah, the Saints.
This one coming right down to the wire. This one just wrapped up before we started this.
Saints 31-26 over Carolina. That one was a high scoring game, and it kind of went back and forth there for a little bit. Carolina had a chance to win at the end, and then they
knocking at the door, but the wheels fell off.
Yeah, they get that intentional grounding, and then they get sacked on fourth down, and that was it. So this sets up our divisional playoff round for Saturday.
What do we have next
I'll
week?
just run down each one, and you guys can tell me who
Throw
you
our
think's
picks.
going to win. The 4:30 games: Atlanta versus Philadelphia.
I'm going with Philly.
You're going to go with Philly.
I'm thinking Philly.
I would say Philly.
I think it'll be a clean sweep. I'll say Philadelphia. It's going to be a closer game than you might think. I think it'll be like within. It might be like a field goal to win at the end for Philadelphia. They haven't really been playing all that well since Carson Wentz went down.
And that's just a shame. They had a phenomenal year. They really did.
And then the 8 o'clock game is Tennessee,
So
New
good.
England.
Sorry, there's a
Titans.
Red Lobster commercial right behind you, and all that fucking food looks so goddamn
At
good.
least he's not talking about the hockey game, so I'll give him credit. They do have a lobster roll that looks phenomenal right now.
That's what they were just advertising.
yeah.
It looks fucking delicious.
Was it like some dragon thing? That
Yeah, there was
Yeah,
like
so
dragon
it-
shrimp or something. or
Their new menu looks amazing.
Angry Dragon. I can't remember.
The next podcast may be coming to you from
Red Lobster.
Red Lobster.
Yeah, you guys like the Red Lobster.
Cheddar Bay
I
biscuits and
don't.
all.
I don't like Red Lobster.
Yeah, there's one
I
in
think
every-
it's completely overrated.
There's one in every crowd.
No,
folks.
you have this
Uh,
garlic shrimp scampi, and the Cheddar Bay biscuits is all you really need. Cause
So this Oakland,
All right,
Tennessee
so we
game.
digress.
Oakland, Tennessee. What
or-
year are you talking about?
I don't know. I thought you said Oakland. I thought it's
Tennessee is playing New England.
well, that's New England. I don't see Tennessee being.
so New England pulling for Tennessee.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
Exactly.
I think 98%.
I think we can all agree on that. New England's
people-
the smart pick, but we're all going to pull for the Titans.
Anybody hear about this rumor about Bill Belichick maybe trying to get the New York Giants job? Anybody heard that one?
I have not.
You mentioned it earlier. How long's he got left on his contract with New England?
I don't know. It's definitely not up this year. So
He's not going to want to coach after Brady retires. He's not going to want to coach that team anymore.
yeah, but apparently there's a rift between him and Brady and the owner. Some just
I was
things
he-
that are going.
I was
behind
there was
the
something
scenes.
about that.
With everything that's happened over the last few years, tensions probably do run high. It wouldn't surprise me if there'd be a lot going on that we haven't heard about. I mean, they've done well at keeping it together. Look, kind of showing the brave front and the strong front. But it wouldn't surprise me to know there's cracks in the framework.
I think it's far fetched for him to leave,
I
but
don't think he's going to leave.
it's something to talk about. Just something to just stir the pot a little bit. So,
Can he win without Brady?
Can Brady win
Yeah,
without him?
Exactly. Or
theoretically, if he went to the Giants, they're in a rebuilding stage. they still have Eli Manning, but I don't know how much if Eli Manning
I
is
wouldn't bet
kind
a
of
lot
like
of mileage on him.
yeah.
No.
So then you got the Sunday games, and I'm pretty sure everybody's going to pick the same team here: the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Jacksonville, for sure.
I'm going with Pittsburgh, but watch out for Jacksonville.
Fuck Jacksonville.
Well, you know what happened the last time they played? Mm-hmm. The Roethlisberger 5-interception game.
Okay, so we got it out of his system. This time we just go and he throws 5 touchdowns.
And who was out that game?
Well, apparently
Was Bell?
apparently Roethlisberger, because he threw 5 interceptions. But
He was definitely.
I forget.
mad.
Were there some injuries in that game, or I don't think they were 100%.
Right, I mean, it's going to be a different game.
I'm pulling for Pittsburgh. I'm just saying, watch out.
No, you're saying nothing.
Apparently, there's cracks in some more framework here tonight, folks. But yeah, so okay, so we've spoke our piece there.
I mean, Jacksonville has a good defense. That's
Wait,
for
so
sure.
who do you think's going to win, Dan?
I'm
It
pulling
doesn't matter
for-
who you think.
Yeah, because
Sorry.
that was popular in '98. Congratulations.
It's
moving
20-year
on.
anniversary. Bringing it back.
Leave it where it was. It's okay.
No. Just know you're
When
wrong.
you go from being The Rock to doing a Jumanji remake, if Robin Williams
A
can't...
Jumanji remake who people were saying was going to bomb at the box office, and it's done great.
People don't know
so,
what they're doing. It can do whatever it wants, but I'm sorry. If Robin Williams can't make a good movie out of it, I don't think The Rock can.
So you
I
didn't like the
enjoyed
first one?
Jumanji.
I was not a big fan of the original one.
I enjoyed Jumanji. I thought it was great.
I'd be willing to go back and watch it again.
That's
yeah,
a
well,
great
maybe you
choice.
should. Just like Titanic.
Well, maybe- I never said whether or not Titanic was a good movie. It was
You
just
said
a
you
2-hour
hated it.
bore. It was a bore.
It wasn't 2 hours.
It was
like
boring.
It's over 3 hours.
Regardless, moving on.
that really-
Pittsburgh.
How much more excitement did you really expect from the movie Titanic?
I wasn't expecting a thrill ride. It just
It was a thrill ride. The last
thrill
part of that
ride,
movie
they-
is
when they
amazing.
crashed.
it was
right?
a thrill ride to death. Yeah, it was great. Anyway,
Billy Zane was amazing.
Picking Pittsburgh. Look out for Jacksonville.
No,
Moving on.
back Titanic.
Nobody wants to go back to Titanic. It sank. Nobody
Oh,
wants to go.
but actually, apparently they do, because I think there is a Titanic launching this year. It's an exact replica of the original.
There you go. Are they going to take the same?
I don't
same
know,
course?
but
You know,
if you want to look
somebody-
out for something, don't look out for Jacksonville. Look out for booking on that thing.
Somebody
I don't
has
know.
got way too much time
I
and
hope
money on
it's
their
I
hands.
hope it's an animated movie. It would be great if it was.
There was a Titanic too.
There
the
was.
animated movie.
I was
We
just going
touched
for
on
that.
this,
Yes, I looked
or
it up.
said something, yeah.
Wikipedia it, folks. It does exist, and boy, did it sound horrible.
A Titanic sequel?
Yes, and it was animated.
It wasn't the Hindenburg.
Well played, sir.
terrible.
Well played.
That's terrible.
No, that went down in flames.
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
But moving on, the other Sunday game.
Well, I didn't.
Oh,
pick
I'm sorry.
Obviously, getting sidetracked. I will pick
That
the
never
Steelers.
We have not settled this Titanic debate yet.
We're not
so.
going to.
I will pick the Steelers. I think Roethlisberger will definitely play much better than he did the first time. So the final game on Sunday is the New Orleans Saints versus the Minnesota Vikings.
I'm going to go Minnesota.
I'm also going with Minnesota.
So
Minnesota, sure, I don't.
So we're just going home teams
Holmes.
for everybody.
Holmes, that
Yeah.
extra week usually helps more
It does.
teams. But out of all of the teams, out of all the road teams in the divisional playoffs, who do you think is the most likely to pull off an upset?
New Orleans.
You say Saints?
I'm still
Okay.
going to say it. I'm telling you, look out for Jacksonville. I'm saying it.
Okay.
I don't
All
care.
right.
Look out for Jacksonville.
Shut the fuck up.
They're probably going to lose. Like Pittsburgh's probably going to blow them away, like 35-0. But I'm telling you, look out for never trust the Jaguar. Okay.
I'll say, man, New Orleans.
New Orleans is probably where I'm
Yeah, but I'll say Atlanta. I'll say Atlanta has the best chance against Philadelphia. So there's
That one, the Atlanta, Philly, and New Orleans, Minnesota games are the ones that I'm really looking forward to seeing. I think they're going to be great games.
Obviously, no one in their right mind is going to pick the Titans over the Patriots. Not even like remotely.
I don't see it.
It could happen. It could happen.
Could. I
They
mean,
could.
they both play in like the first 60 minutes. They play 60-minute games, so anything could happen, but it's not likely to happen.
No.
Well, so there's that.
So, yeah.
Oh man. So, anybody make any New Year's resolutions? at all?
No, not really.
I remember what you did last year when you did that thing on Facebook.
Oh yeah, that actually proved to be pretty popular last year. I was thinking about doing it again this year.
I saw a couple of those over the last
Because
couple days.
when I went on my on this day,
Yes.
that picture came up.
Yes.
Which picture?
Where you took a picture of all of us.
Oh, okay.
The
New Year's resolution one.
Yeah.
Is that Permane Brothers? Or?
That was at Permane's, yes.
Yeah.
Was I there? I didn't.
You weren't there.
No, you were not there.
Okay. I was like, what the hell is everyone talking about?
I
Okay.
guess really if I made any kind of resolution, it wasn't so much a resolution, it's just to keep things going. I had a really good 2017. There were ups and downs. Started working, stopped working for a while. I'm starting to work again as of tomorrow. I'd like to hopefully just keep things going with the job, hopefully, improve on that and kind of go from there. Just kind of make it a good year.
2017 go fuck itself. I'm hoping 2018 will be a much better year than 2017 was. So,
Nathan, did you make a resolution?
I guess last year I kind of made a resolution that I didn't really declare. I wanted to get into better shape, which I kind of did a little bit. So I'd like to get into even better shape than I was in 2017. So even if I lose like 2 pounds from last year, that's still better shape.
So it doesn't mean carry around a spit cup next New Year's Eve and just start spitting in it to weigh yourself, right?
I'll just like pee it out or something.
Pee it out.
You want to drop 2 pounds? Come out with me. I can get you. I can drop you 2 pounds.
Shit, this fucking man just ran 23 fucking miles this week, and the fucking
In like 20 below.
single degree
like
temperatures.
we're dealing with negative temperatures with wind chill factor. This morning, it was fucking 0 degrees, and he was talking about going out later for a run. So it was probably like 7 when he went
You're not
out.
going to lose any weight. Most people sweat it out. You can't sweat it out if the sweat freezes. You can't. It can't be done.
You can lose a pound or.
How many layers did you put on when you were doing this?
This morning, I just had like cold gear on, and I was pretty good. My biggest issue has
Right.
just been my hands.
Yeah.
Now, when I went out for a shorter run, I knew I wouldn't be out there as long the other day because I was just trying to get my mile in to keep my run streak going. Like I had like snow pants on, and I had like my heavy winter jacket on, and all that
When
stuff.
I hear cold gear, anybody else picturing him out there dressed like Mr. Freeze running around? Like saying,
All right, everyone,
chill. Like, running by a playground, just.
When you have to get your mile in for your run streak, but also freeze Gotham by noon.
When you can't bend your joints because they're frozen.
I was frozen today.
If you followed our Facebook page,
I saw that. I enjoyed
I posted
that. Yes.
that it was so cold that you would be saying I was frozen today from the movie Suburban Commando.
See,
Which
Is
is
it,
probably
is it honestly just a travesty that Hulk Hogan never won an Emmy?
Well, you
He
wouldn't
may
win
win
an
a
Emmy
Razzie.
for a movie. He could have gotten a Razzie, though, for sure.
did he ever go? Was he ever nominated for a Razzie?
I don't think so.
On YouTube, I saw the video. You remember when Hogan was talking about how he missed the call to
George Foreman
advertise
grill?
the George Foreman
Yeah.
grill, and how he advertised some other
He
grill.
did have a grill. I
The
did
Hulk
hear
Hogan
about that.
Ultimate Grill.
Yes, I did.
So
hear
I
about
saw
that.
the info, like the 2-minute infomercial.
I think
on
they
it.
did sell them at one time, didn't they? I mean, it
It was
wasn't
back
actual.
in 2006 or 7.
Yeah, I
whenever
think
whenever Hogan Knows Best.
Yeah, I
was
think
on
it
there.
did come out. Yeah.
Well, it did. No one here has one, obviously, so
No
it
one
didn't
here
do
wanted
that
one
well.
either. It was
But
red, it was red and yellow.
I'll
wasn't
say
it?
that actually it wasn't. It was.
But there was a black
it was
and
like
white
silver.
limited edition.
Yes.
But
It
the
wasn't
product
black.
itself looked good, but I did hear that it caught fire if you put any oil or like cooking spray on it.
Nice.
So that was not good.
Thanks a lot, Hulk. Wow. Okay.
So
Damn, brother.
Yeah, I'm scared, brother.
What you gonna do, brother, when the fire runs through your house?
What you gonna do when 911 runs all over you?
I heard he sent one
Jeez.
to Ed Leslie, and it was the emphasis on his new
that
book.
That lit the spark for the feud.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Wow.
But,
So
No, I was just gonna say. So I'm gonna see how long I can keep this run streak going. Just hoping to have a good run year. Get some races in. Maybe get a PR in or something on a course or something. So just get back to doing it for fun.
When did they start doing like the race is coming? Like, did they start them in like March?
Like the next race I'm doing is the Hagerstown Half Marathon in March.
Okay.
For St. Patrick's Day. That's a really good one.
That's what kind of started it all for you, wasn't it?
It was,
I
and
remember
that
I remember being there for that.
That was when I did it for the 5K. Back when I trained for that.
Right.
Which was kind of funny, but.
So now that we've talked about healthier issues, do we have anything unhealthy for the food box?
Well, we didn't really plan much for the food box today.
Sure
We did. Nathan did make this buffalo dip earlier, which we've all been eating all day.
It was very good. Thank you, Nathan.
Yeah.
I need to definitely make sure I run tomorrow now.
Yeah, the recipe for the buffalo chicken dip, if you have a pen and paper handy and you actually are listening to this.
Or you could pause it and get pen and paper.
Yes, you could.
Or you could finish listening to it, rewind, and then write it down.
That's right. If you listen to it twice, we get the credit.
But you take about pound and a half to 2 pounds of chicken, like boneless chicken breasts. I boil them off and I cut them up, and then I take 2 packages of cream cheese, and then I did about a cup of Frank's Red Hot, the wing. Sauce.
I'm not too big on your recipe here. About this much chicken, about this much here.
I don't measure.
He eyeballs.
I just kind of eyeball. And then
That's how the magic
about
happens.
a cup of ranch dressing, and then you take that. I added a little bit of barbecue sauce, not too much, like maybe tablespoon of barbecue sauce, and then you put in about a cup and a half of cheddar cheese, and then you put it on low.
I don't think
in
anybody
the
needs to
crock
write
pot.
this down. They just throw in whatever the fuck they want. They're like, is this what he made? I don't know.
You kind of can do it that way, but you put it on low in the crock pot for about 2 hours, and then I cut up a couple celery sticks and carrot sticks and put them in there, and then served them with some pita chips, and it was really good.
It was
The pita
delicious.
chips,
Yes,
that you got,
yes,
the
it
pita
was.
chips you got were really good too. Let them know, what were the pita chips?
They were Townhouse pita sea salt chips.
Like the
Not
cracker and pita
sweet
chip.
and salt.
No, not sweet and salty, as
yeah.
Kevin thought they were.
Doesn't that just
Apparently, I
sound
can't
normal
read.
thing?
Hey, it's good. I got excited. I was like, ooh, sweet and salty pita chips. I haven't had
All I
these
can
before.
say is,
Especially
so
with
good.
buffalo chicken dip.
You keep making
Delicious.
stuff like that, you're going to get your own podcast, Right in the Kitchen with Nathan.
So, but I still have some peppermint Twinkies
I like cooking
left
with
from
Nathan.
last
with
food
Nathan
box.
was
If people
fine.
want to dip it in the buffalo dip, and
It would
try
probably enhance the taste of those god awful Twinkies.
Oh, God, those Twinkies were awful.
So we don't really have much for the food box, but we do have some Gibbles chips here. I know Nathan is not a fan of Gibbles.
Yeah,
So
my
basically,
baby
what it's
means.
coming down to is we're just doing this because we're eating and you're not.
But Nathan's going to try it. It's Gibbles has out some flavored chips right now, and these are their creamy dill chips. So we're all going to.
creamy and dill together, and that one's got me worried. I'm scared, brother.
It's probably going to be like a sour cream and onion type chip, really.
You can get the bag open here.
I'm taking a donut.
Well, they smell delicious.
Going to take a whiff of
Well,
this.
if you want to go wild, I think you need to put the donut hole there on top of the chip.
No, I'm going to eat the chip and then the donut hole because I don't have high hopes for the
You
chip.
just stuff the
Smells
chip
weird.
in the donut. It smells weird.
Smells weird. I'll say that.
Carrie, you going to try?
Yeah, I'm perfect.
A lot of dill on there. I see that. At least
They
there's.
smell weird. Not gonna
And
lie.
Jason's such a big pickle fan, so
Right.
well, I mean,
It smells like dill.
dill pickle fan.
It smells like dill seasoning. That's what I smell.
I grabbed a small handful. I really hope I like them. If not, I'm just gonna throw them back in the bag.
All right.
Because I'm like,
All right, so we're ready.
Let's
There
do
here
this.
we go. It's a very mild.
It doesn't taste too pickly to me.
No, thankfully,
You know
no.
what it reminds me of?
They're more sour cream and onion-y.
I can taste
Man.
that. Yeah, no, actually, these aren't bad. I
Because
would.
it doesn't taste like pickle. That's why you
Exactly.
like it.
Yes, if you were looking for something that tastes like pickle, you're not going to like these.
No.
It tastes like what you put on the cucumbers with the sour cream.
It's a
and the
dip.
dill.
It's basically a
It
dip.
is like
Yeah.
a dip.
But if you're looking for some kind of like sour cream and onion chip,
Oh,
and
much
they're
better.
out, get this.
It does taste like a dip. You're right. It does, this does not hit me as any kind of pickle. Like,
I don't much
Thing
care
at
for them.
all.
I think they're kind of bland, really. I don't.
yeah, I'm really not impressed.
It's a big thumbs down.
I tried the sea salt and vinegar ones a week or so ago. I wasn't too impressed by them either. They were okay.
Wow.
Salt and vinegar chips are still my favorite. Yeah, I'm not really impressed by these. So negative food box for us this
Gibbles,
week.
you fail.
That does not happen very often, and
that actually warms my heart.
I think I'm
Right.
right. When you left.
So we just went into overtime,
Yeah, I got you.
and think that's pretty much all we had for
That's it.
this week's podcast.
Well, thank
so,
you all for joining us. It's
Glad
good
to be back.
Happy
Yes.
2018, everyone, and we'll
And
catch
to
you on
the
flip
future.
side. That's right.
And beyond.
Yep.
That's right.
Bye.
Bye.
Later.